Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a very special video to me because it is officially 1 year since I have bought my house. And honestly, this is pivotal to me because I knew it was a lot of hard work and the payoff has been great. So I just wanted to do like a little sit down video, just kind of talking about maybe things I've learned, the process a little bit, and any advice that I have for young homeowners. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and let's get started. Starting off, I do want to say if you're new to this channel, maybe you just stumbled across this video, I did purchase my home at 28 years old. And how I got to that point was I moved back in with my parents and I worked 2 jobs from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.-ish. 3:34 and then 5 to 10. So I was working all day, every day pretty much. In the beginning, I did work 40 hours at my main job in the morning, and then at night I would work 30. So I was working 70 hours to start off with. I did go a little bit crazy pretty early on. So my second job did drop it down to about 15-20 hours. And the days off I had, which were the weekends for my first job, I spent closing my second job. So I would always close. So I had virtually no social life. So tip number 1, trick of the trade, whatever you want to call it, is sacrifice. You have to make sacrifices. If you're not willing to make sacrifices, you should not own a house, I think. And it ties into a lot of other things as well, but I think sacrifice was one. I was, like I said, no social life. All I did was work. I put all of my money towards saving up. It was brutal, honestly. Like, I don't even remember enjoying any part of that working 2 jobs, like just to save up. It was a lot. And I know a lot of people have to work 2 jobs to even survive, so I get it. And it's a lot. So that's how I ended up, purchasing a house. So I will say another thing that I learned along the way is your budget actually does not go very far. Obviously, I'm not talking to the people that can afford $1 million houses. I'm talking to the people, the Joe Schmoes, the average Joes of the country that can afford just basic homes. So your budget does not go a long way. I learned that pretty early on. I could get something that was very nice, but I would have to go back to working 2 jobs just to afford it. I didn't really want to do that, to be honest. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I felt like for the right house I could have, but there wasn't a house that I loved enough to do it. So I decided to not go at the top end of my budget. So looking towards the lower end of my budget, things that came up a lot were, number 1, the houses were old that I could afford, which was fine, but that required more work, such as galvanized piping, which is something that needs to be fixed that costs money, thousands of dollars. A new roof, which again, thousands of dollars. Flooding basement, which who knows, and probably a forever problem, thousands of dollars. Total makeovers needed. I saw one where the side of the foundation, the side of the house, the foundation was crumbling, and all they did was they spray painted a board the exact same color as the foundation and put it over the foundation and put like some flowers in front of it, so you couldn't actually tell. So the entire foundation was crumbling, and that was at the higher end of my budget. Another issue I saw was water leaks, and my realtor, who is my aunt, so thank you, she said that's pretty much a huge problem because once it's in, it's hard to really get out. So I saw that as well. I saw a lot of things, but I think those were like the really big ticket items that I saw repeatedly that I didn't want to mess with. Either that or it was I wanted a 3-bedroom and I saw 2 bedrooms. Well, this is too small. I'm going to outgrow it in 2 years. I already knew it walking in that I would outgrow it. 800 square feet for you know, the price point I was looking at, yes, that's I'm gonna outgrow that. So I was really stuck on what I wanted, which was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a fenced-in yard. I didn't end up getting that. I only have 1 bathroom, but I did have a fenced-in yard. So again, going back to sacrifices, I think at the end of the day, I did have to sacrifice something because I just simply couldn't afford it. And that's just being blunt. Like, I could not afford something that was my dream home. However, I love my house. I think I've made such a good decision. I could see myself being here a very, very long time. It's perfect for me. It's a good size. I'm not going to outgrow it. And it has a yard for my dog, which was key for me. I think that when looking at houses, especially your first house, I don't think it's really smart to look at a house and think it's fine for now, just because anything could happen. You could be stuck in that house for 10, 15 years. Maybe you can't afford to leave. So I think it's best to stay away from the advice of, oh, just look at what you can get for right now. If you only need a 2-bedroom right now, you're fine. You can sell it at any point. I think it's probably not a good idea to do that, just because you're going to see how quickly you can outgrow it. You're going to see how quickly it was a bad idea. I mean, the people that bought houses in COVID, like during COVID, I see comments all the time, people commenting that they can't leave their house. They've outgrown their house, but because they have such a good interest rate, they won't sell. So they're stuck in their first home that was good enough at the time, pretty much forever. So I would say that's probably not good advice, but I mean, you do whatever you want, but that's just my opinion. That's why it was so important to me to look for a house that I could grow into, something that wasn't going to be too small to begin with. I wanted something that was almost too big, and my house is big for me. So, I mean, I made a good choice there, but that would be my opinion. And also to sacrifice, get ready to sacrifice. Like, I wanted all these things on my wish list. I did get 70% of them because I held out for the perfect house. But if you don't get 2 bathrooms and you want 2 bathrooms like me, it is what it is. I am honestly glad that I don't have 2 bathrooms, because then I'd have to clean 2 bathrooms. So it ended up working out okay. The actual process was really stressful, I'm not gonna lie. It was almost as stressful as having 2 jobs, because you were looking at houses that were dumps, and I didn't love it. And someone, this happened to me, is always gonna come up with that much money in cash and beat you out of a house. And it's because I don't have $20 million in cash sitting around. I lose the house. The houses were not $20 million. I'm just being silly that it was not $20 million, but it felt like $20 million, you know? So that happened to me as well. So it's still happening. It's crazy, but I'm really glad I bought a house when I did. I'm really glad I bought this house. So I guess I can segue into how I knew it was the house for me. So maybe that would help somebody out there as well. I knew this was my house. I honestly saw this house. This house was listed for quite a while. I'm not going to lie, because it was ugly. But she's beautiful now. But it was, when I first got it, ugly. And it needed a lot of work, but it was more cosmetic stuff. Like, you guys remember my gray wall? Like, who paints a living room dark gray? Like, why would you do that? But anyways, I digress, and that's not what we're going to talk about. So it needed a lot of work, and it was ugly. So this house had sat for a little while, and I had noticed it on Zillow, and I had just kind of I looked at it a couple times and I skimmed past it, because I was like, okay, well, it doesn't have what I want, so I'm moving past it. I had probably seen this house probably between house 6 and 7. I think this was the 8th house I looked at, or the 9th. I can't remember. So like I said, I had seen it, and I was like, it doesn't have X, Y, and Z, so I'm not interested. Well, the houses I kept seeing were just misses, misses, misses. I walked into a house that was like a really good price range, and I honestly felt like it felt bad. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I think it was the lighting. It was so dark in there. And my mom had come with me, and I remember this was, I think, the second to last house. I think it was this one, and then I think it was this house I'm describing, and then my house now. So I think second to last house, I mean, it was a good price range. It really was. But I knew there were a lot of people pining after it because it was such a good price range. They were going to have multiple offers. I was probably going to get beat out because of people with cash. So already going in, I think I was a little bit hesitant. And I walked in. I don't know what it was. I hated that house. Like, they took the doors off the closet. Like, I don't know why they did that. And it was dark, dingy. I'm like, the flooring didn't match up. They did like a mismatched flooring job. I didn't like it, to be honest. Like, I wanted to just kind of walk out. My camera was overheating. I don't know where I left off. I do know I was talking about the house prior to this. So basically, I walked in, hated the house. It just felt weird. And actually, it was like the exact same layout as this house, but it was dark. It was dingy. I hated it. So fast forward to this house now. I knew it was the house because I walked in and it was a totally different feeling. Like, I was happy to be in the house, even though it was ugly. But I felt happy, like content in the house. And obviously I saw the sunroom. My bedroom is very big. I will say, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but it's very big. It's bigger than my mom's master bedroom. So that also, the bedroom and the sunroom were really like my two things that I was like, I love this house. It's perfect for me. I love that I can have a sitting area in my bedroom and a place to do my makeup and my bed. And this is like a whole nother part of my bedroom. This is just like a stool that I sit on to film. But I have so much room in my bedroom that I haven't had that before. My bedroom at my mom's house was like 8 by 10 and very small. And apartments did not have this big of bedrooms either. And of course the sunroom, which I love. I spend so much time out there. It's so nice to just sit out there. Even when it's hot, just sit out there in the evenings and let the breeze roll in. It's so amazing. So I kind of knew this was the house for me because I did not want anyone else to have the sunroom. That's pretty much it. Like, I love my sunroom. I can't imagine someone else taking my sunroom and using it for their own gain. Like, I can't. I love it too much. So I knew this was a house. I put in an offer. I had actually put in another offer prior to a different house. And I don't remember if I said that, but I lost out on that one to someone with all cash. So this one went through, obviously, and here we are today. So it was a lot of work in the beginning, but now I'm kind of finding the routine of it. I guess that segues into my next thing with sacrifice, which is don't buy a house unless you're prepared for your life to change. And what I mean by that is that it is so much work. If something breaks, you are responsible for fixing it. So if something goes out and you need it fixed, like today, you better get off your butt and fix it today. You better be at Home Depot, my favorite store now, or Lowe's or Menards, wherever, fixing it, because that's what it is. So it is a lot of responsibility on myself. However, I was prepared for that. So it, all in all, is a lot of work. The yards, there's weeds every day. You spray 5 weeds and they just come back. So it's a lot of work. But honestly, now that I've gotten a lot of the maintenance done, a lot of the fixing done, it's more just regular routine stuff. So it's a little bit more manageable now, I will say. But last weekend I did yard work. So it is what it is. But I wouldn't have it any other way. So I think if you're still in that traveling, partying, spending time with friends era, maybe don't buy a house. I think if you're a homebody and you're prepared to be home every night, then it's probably a good time for you. Another thing that I think is very important to people, for people to know, is that really it's not all going to be done in a day. And I know you're thinking, Cory, that sounds crazy. I did expect everything to be done in a day. I did. How hard is it? Like, how hard is it to hang wallpaper? Took my mom and stepdad 5 hours. So it took me 2 days to paint this wall because I finally primed it. Took me 2 days because it took me 2 hours the one day, and then I got frustrated and quit, and then it took me 2 hours the next day. So it's not all gonna be done in one day. There's still projects I have on my list from when I bought the house that still aren't done a year later. So that's one thing, is I've just learned to kind of roll with it. Like, yes, there are weeds that pop up after I spray them. There's 5 more over there, but I'll get to them. You know, like, it's not pristine out there, but it looks nice. But are there weeds out in my front yard right now? Yes, there are, but that's okay. So that is one thing that I even remind myself now, like, it's not all going to be done in one day. Like, it took me months to even decide what color I wanted to paint my office, let alone paint it. That was another month, because it's just me doing it. Like, it's going to take time, especially if you're by yourself, or even if you have someone. It's going to take time, you know, between work and you're trying to do other things as well. Like, it's a lot. So that's why the wintertime is good, because wintertime's project time. I could do stuff inside and paint and whatever. I still don't even know. It's been a year. I just primed this wall, this blue here, that in my vlog, I know you've seen it. You can still see the blue here, but I've primed it. Yeah, so it's just got done being primed, and I still don't have color picked out. So it'll get there. It'll get there. So I think just going in knowing that, rolling with the punches, like, just do a little bit every day and it'll be fine. You don't have to paint the whole room in one day. That's one thing that I think is valuable to know. You do not have to paint the whole room in one day. When your back starts hurting, just stop. Like, maybe that's just me being lazy, but it's a lot when you work and then after work you start painting. Like, you don't want to do this. So wait till you're in the mood for it. This is all just really bad advice, really. No, I'm just kidding. So hopefully it helps somebody. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about it a little bit. I think there's probably more questions and things I could advise, but I feel like that's really the gist of it, is sacrifices, roll with the punches, do a little bit every day, and how much work and maintenance it really is. When the older people, like the older folks, like my parents and anybody that was buying a house before me, always said, a house is nothing but time and money, and a house is nothing but projects. Just know they were telling the truth. And if you're ready for that, great. If not, maybe just rent a little bit longer. And I guess the last thing I would say is, like, would I ever rent again? No, absolutely not. I think I love my house. I do. It's my baby. And I could never rent again. I love having my own space. The yard is, I love it. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out, if it's even going to help somebody, but I hope you enjoy. I will put a little bit of pictures here at the end here so you can see the progress that I've made in a year. It's honestly still a mess. So if you're like, that after picture looks even worse, I know. And that's okay, because it's not fully done. So it'll never be fully finished. Trust me. That's another thing that people say. It'll never be fully done. You'll never be done with projects. And that is true. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped a little bit, someone out there maybe, and you can do it too. It's a lot of sacrifice, but you can do it too, and it is wonderful having my own house and having some place to call home. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.